De Bruyne's come around. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. The first one of 2025. How are you today? Teams locked in, transfers made. How are we all doing today? Welcome all of you to another deadline stream. I've made my transfer already actually. I sold Bowen for Gordon because obviously Bowen picked up the injury. So I had to get rid of him either way. And Gordon was going up in price. So I made that move already. And then we've since heard that Spurs could have a few additional players out to those that were already out. So quite looking forward to the first... Oh, that's copyrighted. I was listening to, what's his name, Rufus Du Sol before going live, but I can't play that. Welcome to the stream, the commenter, SSL Clips, Ridge, Ben Graham, Yogvan, Orm, Harren, Kyle, Georgie, Nat the One, Jay Willie, Fikri, and everyone else. Good to see lots of members. I suppose lots of you are members from the last stream where Tim gifted out a ton of memberships. So welcome to all the new members. Welcome everyone to the stream. Chuck your questions in the chat and I will answer as many as possible before the deadline. How are we doing, Anish? Welcome, Wellstone. Vam Stark, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean, anyone tempted by Isak captain based on all this Spurs news, all this Spurs talk of players out? So they have Vicario Davies, Van de Ven, Romero, Udogie and Ben Tanker already out. Forster's a doubt, Madison Gray and Drag is in. And apparently 7 first team players trained for Spurs. I did see another update this morning on that and it said Forster's definitely out. Radisson and Gray will play, but both have been really rough, including today. Madison and Son are likely to be left out of the starting lineup, and Bissouma as well. So it's like beyond a crisis now at Spurs, the amount of players that they've got out and doubts. That's like their first, second, third, fourth choice centre-backs out. Udogie out, Vicario out. And then players like Son and Madison apparently not starting, Forster out. So first and second choice keeper out. That all said, I'm still on Salah, but it wouldn't be surprising if Isak outscores Salah this week, if you're looking for a differential captain. But yeah, I'm going to leave it on Salah. I don't feel ready. I've not mentally prepared myself to take on the Salah ownership as captain. Because he's going to be like 200% EO again, isn't he? So it can be absolutely killer. You can like triple your rank if it goes wrong, but obviously the upside's massive. Yeah, Edzo says, morning Oscar, is Salah the obvious captain? I think he's got to be. Like, he's also got the home fixture, and it's, you know, Man United are in a bit of a crisis themselves. So I think, for me, it's Salah with the home fixture. I have changed my vice captain though to Isak. It was on Palmer, so close second choice for me. I'd say Isak, and then Palmer third choice. But I mean, I don't know. Who are you guys going with? Anyone not going with Salah? We can put a captain poll up, in fact. Let's do that. While people join the stream, they can get their votes in as well. So, who are the best three options? Salah, Isak, Palmer, and other? Do I really leave Haaland out? I guess I'd do on ownership. So, if you go other, message and chat, who's your other? I guess most others will be Haaland. Is there anyone else? Surely no one's going Gordon, right? I think Gordon's a great pick if you're looking for a midfielder this week around that price or less. Then Gordon's the one. Rohan says, I'm so tempted to do Isak, but the early kickoff scares me. Do you guys believe in Gandhi's rule? Never back the early kickoff. It's a myth, isn't it? Surely. It's not a real thing. The Dan Man asked for the clean sheet odds. Here they are. From 11ify. So Arsenal 41%, and it's Villa, Bournemouth, Fulham and City. Liverpool right up there, Forest. Rock bottom will be West Ham, who have got City away. Man United away at Liverpool, and Leicester away at Villa. Tells you on Isak vice captain. Sai says, differential chasing has ruined my life. That is a bit dramatic, isn't it? It's ruined your whole life. It can definitely ruin your season if you do it a few times in a row, and then, you know, the popular pick goes massive. Does Sanchez start, Oscar? I'd guess he does, yeah. I mean, they lost to Ipswich. I think he has to come back in. No, I don't think there'll be any postponements. I don't think so. Nat the One says, have you got any weather updates on the Liverpool game? We can cut to a feed in Liverpool. Let's see how it's going on there. Oh, it doesn't look good, actually. Now, so anyone that's not in the loop, there's amber snow warnings up north. I don't know why I said Liverpool anyway. It is in Liverpool, isn't it? At Anfield. Yeah, there's amber snow warnings up north. So some people are speculating, are the games going to be called off? You know, for fan safety and all that. I've not heard anything. I'd be surprised. The forecasts aren't like tons and tons of snow, so I suppose it depends if the council are like gritting the roads and all that in the path, so it's safe for fans to travel to the game. But I don't think so. I don't think it'll be called off. Will Gakpo start? I'd guess he probably will. That's a lot of snow. Send it to the Netherlands. Senya Lump, morning Oscar, wishing you good gaming, love you. Good to see you, Senya Lump, welcome to the stream. Who will you triple captain and in which game week? I would use it whenever the Liverpool postponement gets rearranged. So that could be game week 24 or 25, that's what's being rumoured. So if it's 24, Salah would have Bournemouth away and then Everton away. If it's 25, maybe even better, that'll be Wolves home and Everton away. I've used mine already, so unfortunately. But if I still had it, that's definitely what I would do. I would use it there. How many of you still got your triple captain? Let's do a poll on that. So 87% are going Salah captain, 8% Isak, 2% Palmer, and 4% other. Have you still got your triple captain? Yeah or nah? Get your votes in. Start Munoz or João Pedro? Probably Munoz. I mean, we saw Arsenal top of the clean sheet odds there. I'm not sure Brighton get anything. Maybe they score one, but you'd back Arsenal for a clean sheet. I'd probably go Munoz. Like Chelsea in a bit of a rut as well, aren't they? 2 losses on the bounce. Did anyone see that chance that Munoz had last game as well against Southampton? He was like this far out off the line, and it was like an open goal, and he kicked it against the defender. Would have been such a massive swing that. So yeah, I'd go Munoz. He's passing the eye test. Data's still good. Tuna says should cancel the Spurs game. When Arsenal made it happen with one COVID case, Robinson or Munoz for Timber need the player this week. Yeah, I don't know if they will. We probably would have heard by now, wouldn't we? If Spurs were looking to get that game postponed. There is a rule. I saw a Spurs fan tweeting about it. If you've got less than 10 senior players available, you're allowed to request it, but I'm not sure if they've got just under 10 or not. Robinson or Munoz? I'd still say Munoz, even though he's not got the fixture this week. Just because of those long-term fixtures, right? He might not make the game this week, but long-term, Munoz should outscore Robinson. So you're going to have to look long-term. So I'd say Munoz. I mean, look at the fixtures longer-term. He could potentially take you all the way till, what, like Game Week 31? Like, that's April. That's, yeah, 3 months tomorrow until you possibly need to sell Munoz. I just think if there's a player you can chuck in your team and not have to worry about them, plus they've got good underlying data, good fixtures, I would go there rather than Robinson. I know Robinson's flavour of the month, but I'd say Munoz. Crispy Bacon says, morning Oscar, Morgan Gibbs White last game, luckiest punt ever. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, on last week's stream, who was it you were replacing? He mentioned Morgan Gibbs White, and I said, surely not. And I think I said maybe Gordon. And he went Gibbs White, and obviously he scored as well against Everton. So what do I know? Fair play for backing that. Are you keeping him this week, Chris, or are you going straight to Gordon now? I remembered it when it happened, and I sent Chris a DM, like, no way, Gibbs White. VS says, who would you start this week, Hall and Munoz? Based on the Spurs injury crisis, I think I would go Hall, to be honest with you. Like, the clean sheet odds are probably similar, but just to bring this up again. Vicario Davies, Van der Ven, Romero, Udogie and Bentancur are all out. Apparently 7 first-team players trained. There was another update. Forster is definitely out, supposedly, according to a Tier 1 Spurs source. Ryderson and Archie Gray will play, but both have been really rough, including today. Maddison and Son are likely to be left out of the starting 11, and Bissouma as well. So, I don't even know what the lineup will be. Viverna left wing, Bergval in midfield, with who? Kulu and Sarr or something like that. Johnson right wing. Oh, I mean, Spurs, surely they're going to get rolled over by Newcastle. Sorry to say if you're a Spurs fan, but you're probably in agreement, aren't you, to be fair, this week with all those injuries. Start Ahmad or Kirkes? I'd go Kirkes, Louis. Salah says, should I do Timber to Munoz, or what do you suggest? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Tuna was looking at the same move, and I think long term that's probably the most obvious replacement. You know, unless you don't have Trent, for example, and you've got a way to get all that money, but that's a bit more complicated. Timber to Munoz is doable in one move, so I like that. Even though the fixture's not great this week, at least it's at home. His underlying data is good. I mean, look at this, 0.6 XGI against Southampton. So I think you got it bang on there, Salah, with Munoz. Will says, hi, should I start João Pedro, Strand Larsen or Sarr? I would go Sarr out of those three. Yeah, I mean, he's looking great. He's passing the eye test, good underlying data. Chelsea have lost 2 on the bounce. He's playing them home. Strand Larsen, I mean, what will Wolves look like without Cunha? And they are against Forest, and then João Pedro is against Arsenal, so Sarr's the one there. Ben Wilson says, hi, Semenyo to Gordon this week, or wait for next? Yeah, tricky one, because Everton home's not bad, but I'd be tempted to do it, Ben. Just based, I don't know if you've only just tuned in, but we're talking about all the Spurs players that are out, and it's a lot. You know, they've already got like 6 or 7 players out, plus then there's this illness going around. Like, Austin is set to make his debut in goal because Forster's reportedly also out. That's how bad it is. Son and Maddison rumoured not to be starting, and Basuma rumoured not to be starting. It's going to be a bare bones Spurs side, so I just think... Also, like, Everton have been a really good defence as well. It's probably not going to be a very open game, but Spurs, with all those players out against Newcastle, who are like one of the most informed teams in the league right now, there's got to be more goals than that, so I'd actually make the switch, you know. Andreas, thanks for the 35 months, says, do you think Duran comes back into the 11 against Everton, or is he a sell after Watkins do well in his place? I think it really depends on how the next two go as well. Like, so far, so good for Watkins, and if he carries his form into the next two, then I would say Watkins is now first choice again, yeah. You know, and either way, even if Watkins didn't hit the ground running, Emery might want to punish Duran for that, and move him back to a bench player, impact player, right? So I wouldn't be surprised, but it does depend on how the next two go. But they do have Leicester home this week, so you'd back him to get even more, wouldn't you? Would you sell Cunha for a hit or start Ahmad? I wouldn't sell Cunha for a hit unless it was for Isak, basically. I'd just start Ahmad. Like, would I do Cunha to Wood if I could play Ahmad? I'd probably not take the hit. Probably not. Yeah, I'd probably leave it and just start Ahmad. Oh, VS, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much for your support, VS. Appreciate that. Who would you sell Cunha for? I would say Isak and then Wood, and then who after that? Maybe Jackson. Probably Watkins, actually. Watkins would be third choice. No, nothing on postponements. I don't think there's going to be any postponements. It's an amber warning, so I don't think it's going to be serious. Just, you know, a few inches of snow or something. Is Luke Little to watch him? I wonder. I was watching him last night. Unbelievable. I was so happy for him. Although I was having to explain darts to my girlfriend the entire time, but oh, he's so good. It's unbelievable. At 17 as well. Has anyone ever been that dominant in any sport at 17? Like, world champion, age 17. Absolutely insane. Crazy. 57% have still got their triple captain. 43% have used it. We'll put the captain poll back up. So Salah, Isak, Palmer, and other. So if you go other, then message and chat who's your other. You'll have to vote again. I've just put it back up again. Tiger Woods, yeah, but was he at 17 that dominant? I don't think he was at 17, was he? That chess guy? You mean Magnus Carlsen? I actually watched an interview of Magnus Carlsen yesterday. He was on a football podcast and he was being asked about fantasy football. And someone was asking about his success and so on, and if he still plays. And he said, I do still play, but people used to post my team all the time and what I did, so I've taken my team private. And I was one of those. I used to post what he did each week, so I was like, oh shit, my bad. So he still plays, but now not publicly. He's got a secret account. Bobby Fischer. Oh, okay. Pele was decent at 17. Yeah, was that... Did he win the World Cup at 17 or 18? Maybe there's been others. G in the chat says, great job, Focal. Been a follower for 4 years. Shout out to G for following for 4 years. That's about as long as the channel's been around, I think. Maybe slightly longer. Or is it 5 years? I think it's about 4.5. You're one of the early ones anyway. Early kickoff sucks. Not if you've got double or triple Newcastle, it doesn't. Appreciate it, John. Bench Ahmad or Munoz? I'll probably bench Ahmad, you know. Start Munoz. So, yeah, I've made my transfer already, which was Bowen to Gordon. Next week, what I might do is Strand Larsen to João Pedro. And then I'd like to just leave my team for a while. Because obviously we have that potential double in 24 or 25. So I'd like to just get a few roll transfers to keep myself flexible. Because obviously if I want to use slot in the double game week, then I'm going to have to free up 1.5 mil. So, yeah, that's kind of my long-term plan. João Pedro in next week. So if you've got João Pedro and thinking about selling him, I'd be careful to sell him. I still think he's a good pick. Obifuna says, hi Oscar, I sold Wood last week. Is it a good idea to transfer him back in this week for Jackson? Bear in mind, I also have Cunha in my team. No, I'd sell Cunha for him, 100%. Keep Jackson. I still think Jackson's alright as a pick. I don't think it's a rush to sell. I think Jackson to Wood is sideways. Maybe even a downgrade, to be honest with you. They just look so much better with Jackson in over Nkunku, so I still think he's first choice. He was just rotated a bit because of the busy schedule. So sell Cunha for Wood, right? Because Wood's cheaper than Cunha, isn't he? How much is Cunha? Wood's 6.8 mil. Isn't Cunha about the same? Yeah, I would do that. I'll be Cunha. Cunha to Wood, keep Jackson. FPL Nerd and Yurti Ahern, thanks very much for becoming members. I'm going to see if the confetti cannon's working here. Oh, have I broken it? Oh, I did both at the same time there. Yeah, thanks very much FPL Nerd and Yurti for becoming members. Appreciate you. Thanks for your support. FPL Nerd says start João Pedro or Ahmad. I'd probably go João Pedro. I mean, I can't imagine either get anything, but João Pedro at least has the penalties, so I would go with him. Start João Pedro. Hall or Robinson? I'd say start Robinson, given that they're home to Ipswich, I think, this week, aren't they? It is a better fixture. Even if Spurs are a bit bare bones, I'd still start Robinson for that one. Hit for Hall? Nah, I wouldn't take a hit for Hall, Brett. I'd only take a hit for a defender like that if you literally only have 2 defenders that are going to play, and then you have to take a hit either way for one. Ash says, hi Oscar, I'm thinking Ødegaard to Gordon. Yeah, I kind of regret the Ødegaard pick a little bit. He's not done much in the first 2 games that I've owned him. It looks like Martinelli was the one I should have gone for there. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. Yeah, I think that's okay to do that move. I still think he could come good, Ødegaard, but I think Gordon's probably even better. Better fixtures, better underlying numbers. I suppose better attack right now as well, but both are doing fairly well. Is Son benched Focal from Jonathan? There are rumours that he doesn't start. I'll just bring it up again here. Spurs in the no hub. Apparently a tier 1 source, Midas, says Forster's definitely out. Radisson and Archie Gray will play, but both have been really ill, including today. Maddison and Son are likely to be left out the starting lineup, and Bissouma. So it just says likely, not 100%. Not 100%. Yoti says bench 1 out of Sarr, Semenyo and Kerkez. I'd probably bench Kerkez. Start the attackers, because they've got more upside basically. Like, I know Kerkez has got like a clean sheet and an assist type game in him, but I'd say Sarr and Semenyo are higher upside. Start them too. Vaz says good morning. Play Kerkez or Sarr? I'd play Sarr, Vaz. Let's play Sarr. Both are great, but I think Sarr's better. Robinson or Hall? Robinson, I'd say, just about. Hall or Munoz? Hall, I would say. Robinson over Hall, but Hall over Munoz this week. Reddington, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thank you, Reddington. Appreciate your support. Welcome to all new members. How are we doing, FPL Addicts? Welcome. What transfers have you guys all made this week then? What's everyone doing with their teams? Anyone rolling? Can you rate my team, please? Oscar, DM sent, no free transfers. I will have a look. I don't normally do rate my teams in DMs because I have to open it in another window, but let me find it. Yeah, let us know in chat, what transfers have you made while I find this. You sold Gibbs White for Gordon. Really nice team. Really nice. Do you regret Van Dijk over Trent? You got Anderson on the bench as well. Yeah, nice team. Shame about the Rodgers suspension. That's annoying, isn't it? Nice team. Looks good. Looks good to go. Omar's rolling it. Nat the one's gone Cunha to Wood. Terzi's also gone Cunha to Wood. Everyone's going Cunha to Wood. Ivor Khan, Cunha to Wood. Jokane, Cunha to Wood. So I'm guessing Wood's going to be the most transferred in. Cunha most sold, right? Ahmad to Murphy's. That's Murphy's really going under the radar, isn't he, Ken? I think the only thing is he comes off early a lot, but he is absolutely smashing it recently. And they've still got great fixtures, and he's really cheap. Isn't he like 5.1 mil? How much is Murphy? Yeah, in terms of points per mil, he must be outperforming Gordon even. But Gordon's just, more reliable for minutes, basically. And, after the Saka injury, I think a lot of us have just got the money lying around where he's affordable. DJ O'Shea the Rave, thanks very much for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you. There we go. Boom. Confetti cannon. Thanks, DJ O'Shea. Let me just catch up. Where did I get to? James says, thoughts on selling Ahmad or Rodgers for Murphy or Jolinton? Happy New Year, Oscar. I'm not sure if I'd do it. Maybe Ahmad to Murphy. I wouldn't sell Rodgers. Definitely don't sell Rodgers. Would I do Ahmad to Murphy? The thing is, Ahmad's got really nice fixtures after this game week as well. Like Southampton home, game week 21, isn't it? So I don't know if I would do it. Despite Murphy's form. It's just his minutes are all over the place, right? He comes off like 60 minutes, 65. Occasionally pre-60. I mean, he looks first choice right now, but, Barnes is there as competition. That's why he's coming off early. Would I go Murphy? I like the Murphy pick. I just think he's a potential headache. A few weeks down the line, maybe. But it is big upside. Yeah, I suppose it's worth the risk, isn't it? He's a nice differential. He's cheap. Yeah, I think it's okay, James, to do that. I think it's alright to do that. I mean, he's proven everyone wrong, even with limited minutes, so why not? Samuel says, bringing Jimenez or Delap as my 8th attacker, funding Isak in. I'm an Ipswich fan and going to the game on Sunday and struggling to think straight. So you've got Fulham away, is it? Oh my god. Tim, not again. Oh my god. Holy. Tim's just dropped 50 gifted memberships. Oh my god. Tim, thank you so much. Welcome to all the new members. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. Tim, thank you so much. Welcome to the 50 new members. If you become a member, as it pops up in chat, make sure you thank Tim for that. Samuel, I prefer Jimenez over Delap, but like they're both pretty solid. Delap's obviously better for minutes as well. They're pretty comparable. Jimenez better fixtures, Delap better minutes, if you see what I mean. I'd say Jimenez if I was picking one though. Tim is everyone's sugar daddy. Henning says Tim is back. Here we go again with Tim. It's still giving out the memberships. Yeah, welcome to all the new members. Nat the one says Tim is the greatest person. Bolu, thanks for the gifted membership. If any of you that just got gifted a membership have Discord, if you join the Focal server, there's a link in the description by the way if anyone's not in the Focal Discord server. But in Discord settings, if you log into your YouTube account, you'll automatically see the members channel on Discord, where I'm online every day chatting away. So check that out if you're interested. Yeah, thanks again, Tim. Tim, pick me. It does it at random, I think. I think it gives them to random people. But it does give them to people that are chatting away, I believe. So you probably have to say something in chat to be in with a chance. It's still going. Yeah, thanks very much, Tim. Appreciate that. Clean sheet odds are Slaney. Clean sheet odds are here. This is from 11 of 5's model. And they've got Arsenal on a 41% chance, Villa 39%. It's actually a 4-way tie in second place. Villa, Bournemouth, Fulham and City all on 39%. Liverpool 37%. Forest 30%. Rock bottoms, West Ham, Man United and Leicester. We're going to be giving away premium membership as well for the app later. So if you haven't got the FPL Focal app, then make sure you get that installed. Or if you just use it online in your browser, that's fine as well. FPL.page. We're going to give away 5 season memberships for free that let you customize the dashboard, remove widgets, change the theme, hide the ads and all that. So if you're interested in that, that'll be a bit later as well in the stream. I think this is frozen. Let me just refresh that so I can see this again. Pop out chat. I might have missed some messages. Let me just check this again. Mo says Enzo to Sarr. Also start Munoz or João Pedro. Thoughts? Would I go Enzo to Sarr this week? Maybe not. Maybe buy yourself another week. Because what if you don't do it and then you might think, actually I need Eze. Like if Eze scores again this week and Sarr blanks, do you not think everyone's going to be saying, oh, Eze's the one? Definitely. It might be worth buying yourself another week of information and just give Enzo the start away at Palace. Jake says, thanks for whoever just gifted me a membership. That was Tim. He just dropped 50 gifted memberships. Enzo to Sarr. I think I'd probably leave it a week. Just in case you end up wanting to use 2 free transfers to buy Eze. Maybe you can afford Eze in one. I don't know. Munoz or Pedro? I think I'd start Munoz over João Pedro. Just given, like, we saw Arsenal top of the clean sheet odds. Chelsea have lost 2 on the bounce. Munoz, his underlying data is still amazing. I'd say Munoz. Did you guys see Fofana potentially out for the entire season as well for Chelsea? So that's bad news, myself included, as a Colwell owner. Because they were looking really good with him in right centre-back alongside Colwell. So I'm not sure Maresca is even sure who his first choice right centre back is now, because he's got a few options there. Milkman says, hey Mr. Focal, 2 free transfers, 4 mil in the bank, 3 red flags. How about Cunha and Ben Johnson to Watkins and Nico? Oh, yeah, okay, Ben Johnson. I was thinking Brenham. 3.9 mil ranks, so I need a differential to climb. I have Isaac, no Forest. Yeah, so if you're looking to climb, I think Watkins is like massive upside when he's home to Leicester. Nico, no, is that Nico Williams? I wouldn't go Nico, just cause once Alex Moreno's back, they're competing for that left wing back spot. So probably not Nico. How much can you afford? Can you afford Hall or Munoz? Like they're still pretty low owned. Like Munoz is what, 4.7% owned. Can you afford Munoz and Watkins? I like that. Those are a nice pair of moves, I would say, with a lot of upside in the coming weeks and massive differentials. If you can afford that, Milkman, that's what I would do. James Andrews says, bench 2 out of Saliba, Cucurella, Hall, Johnson, João Pedro and Strand Larsen. I'd bench up João Pedro against Arsenal. Would I play Brennan Johnson against Newcastle? I mean, I think he starts. But they've got so many players out. Tricky one, that. Because they're all pretty close, James. I'd start Saliba. Cucurella, Hall, Johnson and Strand Larsen. One of those. Probably Strand Larsen. It's Strand Larsen or Johnson. It's difficult to separate them. Just given that Wolves are playing against Forest, like third best defence this season, as far as expected goals conceded, plus no Cunha. I think maybe that makes the most sense, but obviously Spurs have got so many players out that Johnson might be the one. Probably João Pedro and Strand Larsen. G says, love from Sydney Focal, Raul or João Pedro. If that's who to start, Raul. If it's who to buy, I still think João Pedro is a good long-term pick. At this rate, Tim needs to be on the next stream. I think João Pedro is honestly still a good pick. Like, we have to temper expectations a bit. He is really cheap. He is really cheap. And he's on pens. He did get 2 assists last match, didn't he? And some bonus. And the fixtures are pretty nice after this game week. Obviously this week's not great, but I'm looking to buy him. I've got 0.4 mil in the bank. So next game week 21, I could do Strand Larsen to João Pedro, because he's got Ipswich away, Man United, Everton, Forest. He's got a few nice games there. Chelsea, I mean, it is home. Southampton, Bournemouth, Fulham. I think that's not a bad fixture run for a 5.7 million forward on penalties, who's got, what, 4 goals, 5 assists this season? On penalties, that's the big one. And if I do that, then I can bench Wood or Semenyo, because they've got Liverpool and Chelsea. So that's my loose plans. I'm actually looking to buy him next game week. Blue Boy says, 1 free transfer. Wood, Isak, Cunha in the team. 0.3 million free. Do I roll? Probably would roll, but it depends on the rest of your defence and midfield and how that looks. You know, because Cunha's obviously not going to play regardless. So as long as you've got good coverage in your other players to bench Cunha, then I think it's okay to roll. And then next week you decide what to do with him. It could be Cunha to João Pedro, for example, or maybe something else would be possible in your team. But Wood and Isak feel like the 2 best forwards right now, but it does change week to week. Jid says, I'm triple captain in Tim this game week. Why are you not starting Colwell? Yeah, I feel like it's a coin toss, that. I just thought Chelsea have lost 2 on the bounce, and Colwell's ceiling is 6 points. Munoz has got the home fixture. His underlying data has been unbelievable. 0.26 XGI per 90. So basically like 1 in every 4 games he's expected to get you an attacking return. Came so close to scoring last game week as well. So I just thought, why not? If it's that close, chase the upside of Munoz. Do Chelsea go to Palace and keep a clean sheet? And if they do, then I'll get 6 points from Colwell. Or do I just take the chance? Palace slightly less likely to keep a clean sheet, but maybe they do. Maybe he gets an attacking return, doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, it's close, but I'm just chasing the upside basically. Hi Oscar, loving the consistent, helpful video. Should I start Palmer or Sarr? Yeah, you can't bench Palmer in any fixture. Never bench Palmer. He's unbenchable. Even if he's got Liverpool away or Arsenal away, he's unbenchable. Sohan says, hi Oscar, Happy New Year. Bench 1 of Semenyo, Sarr and João Pedro. Start Hall or Castagna. So bench João Pedro. Start Semenyo and Sarr. Hall or Castagna. I'd probably start Castagna. I mean, it's Ipswich home, isn't it? If you're not going to play him for Ipswich home, when are you going to play him? So I'd start Castagna. Oh, VS, thanks for upgrading the membership to Elite as well. I never advertised that one, but there is an Elite one as well, which is also on Discord, where you can tag me anytime and I'll help you out with your team. So thanks for that, VS. Welcome. Appreciate your support. Wildcard in Captain Haaland. You know what's interesting? I was looking at the projected points. And here's how they look for Game Week 20. Haaland's actually just gone ahead at the top now of 8 projected points. It is close. Salah's on 7.8, so you know it's basically negligible. Watkins 7.3 in third. Isak Palmer and Mbumo. So, fair play. You got to be brave to captain Haaland, obviously, with the season Salah's having. I hope it comes off for you. I do hope it comes off, even though I don't have Haaland. I hope it comes off. Because it takes a brave manager. And I've been there before, going against the template to try and gain upside. And it's been brutal, but it can pay off massively. And I hope it does for you. Ray says, bench Saliba or Gibbs White. Currently Gibbs White on the bench. Oh my god, he's... Tim! Tim, stop! He's just gifted another 50 memberships. It's broken my chat as well. And it's broken the confetti. Is it... Oh my god. If you remember, spam some of the focal emojis in the chat. What a guy. Thank you so much, Tim. That is insane. Oh my word. Tim, thanks so much, mate. Appreciate your support. Welcome to all the new members. That confetti's tired, Tim. Whoa, crazy. Tim, thanks so much. Welcome to the 50 new members. I can't even read out all the names because there's 50. Daniel says Tim is an absolute legend. He really is. Tim for the next deadline stream. If you want to, Tim. If you want to join me. Crazy, says Tafrel. Mickle says, thank you, Tim. Yeah, still going and giving them out. Ray's question was bench Saliba or Gibbs White. Currently Gibbs White on the bench. It's pretty close, that. I'd probably start Gibbs White. Tim's 50-50, but I'd probably play Gibbs White. When it's a 50-50, I tend to favour the attacker. Because, you know, a midfielder or a striker can surprise you and come up with a return or two. Whereas a defender, generally, you're just banking on that clean sheet 6-pointer, if you see what I'm saying. It is a coin toss, that, Ray, but I'd probably just chase the upside of Gibbs White. Brett says, who's my daddy, Tim? Rich says, Tim is like oil money, but much better. Sean says, W Tim. Lewis says, thanks for the sub. Tim MVP. Is Tim, has he said something in chat though? Because I don't want to miss what he said. I can't even do a control F for it because it's... Oh, he's literally, as I said that, he's said something. What did he say? Tim, thanks for the 19 months. He says, like and subscribe, everyone. We have 2 little likes on this channel. Let's go, he says. You heard him. You heard it from the main man himself, Tim. Like and subscribe if you're not subscribed around here. And if you haven't liked this stream, then show some love for Tim. Show some love for the stream as well. Appreciate your support, Tim. And all of you watching as well. Craziest deadline streams. 100 gifted memberships. Oh my god. Nemo says yes, boss. Andrew says Tim. Insane. Scott says boom, Tim. Emmanuel says like for Tim. How many likes are we on? I haven't even looked at the stream yet. It's just gone up to 300 or so. So, yeah, like the stream if you want to show Tim some love and show the stream some love as well. Samurans, thanks for the super chat as well. Tim is Mrs. Focal in disguise. Yeah, we're actually just money laundering, me and the missus. So yeah, you've clocked it now. Yeah, they're on to us, Tim. You're going to have to make a new account, change name. That'd be a terrible way to launder money because YouTube takes a little cut every time. But anyway, Pinners React says Odegaard for Gibbs White and Cunha. Hang on, Odegaard for Gibbs White and Cunha to Watkins. Thoughts? I like Cunha to Watkins. I'm not a biggest fan of Odegaard to Gibbs White. Or are you saying Gibbs White to Odegaard? I prefer Gordon to either of those. Pandozel says, Tim, you got me. Welcome, Pandozel, as a new member. I prefer Gordon to Ødegaard or Gibbs White. Are you saying you're going to buy Ødegaard? I'd rather Gordon, Martinelli, probably even Eze over Ødegaard or Gibbs White right now. Dale says, how's the weather looking like? Not great. Not great. That's out my window at the moment. No, not really. It's alright here. Down south anyway. There's a bit of snow forecast for Sunday. So, and there's actually an amber warning up north. Bit of an amber snow warning, but I'd be surprised if any games get called off, to be honest with you. It's an amber warning. We'll be alright. The thing is, if anything happens, it'll be after the deadline anyway, so there's nothing we can do. Absolutely nothing we can do. So yeah, I hope that helps, Pinners. Struggling with this game says, hi mate, who to start between Strand Larsen and João Pedro? And who would be your first bench between them and Greaves? Also, sell Enzo or Ødegaard for Gordon next game week. I'd rather sell Enzo between the two, if you can afford that. If you can afford that, yeah, I'd rather sell Enzo and keep Ødegaard. I'd start Strand Larsen over João Pedro as well. I mean, they've both got a brutal fixture, but I mean, Wolves have got the slightly better fixture, looking like a new manager bounce. I mean, Brighton, have they? I don't think they've won in like 6 or 7 games, have they? Is that true, or did they win last week? Let me fact check that. Yeah, they've drawn, what's that, 5 of their last 7 and lost 2. Yeah, I'd start Larsen. I mean, he scored as well off the bench last match. Really nice goal against Man United. I should know, I got very lucky with that. I had started Strand Larsen and the lineups dropped and I was like, oh, for God's sake. Is there anything worse than that feeling when you're waiting for the lineups, the suspense is building, the lineup drops and one of your players is benched? Horrible. But it worked out in the end. He came on and scored, so happy days. I'd put João Pedro ahead of Greaves on the bench as well, 100%. Are there any updates on socials regarding game postponements? Nothing reliable, no. I mean, there was a rumour doing the rounds that they're going to have a meeting to confirm whether the game's going ahead or not, but nothing reliable. I'd expect the game to go ahead. I'd be surprised. I don't think it's a massive amount of snow forecast either, so yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Milkman says Vardy, Munoz or Hall. If that's who to start, I'd start Vardy. I wouldn't buy Vardy though, but I'd start him this week if you've already got him. If I was ranking those 3, Vardy, Hall and then Munoz this week specifically. Long term, it'd probably be the reverse order actually. Long term, Munoz, then Hall, then Vardy. 24k Will, they are 211 of calling Focal Smexy Geezer. Happy New Year, Focal. Hope you smash it. Cunha to Wood from -4 and bench Bruno / Castagna. Nah, I wouldn't take a hit if you've already got Bruno or Castagna. Just start one of the two. No need to take a hit there. Saki says João Pedro and Jackson to Jesus and Wood for free or keep. Probably keep, you know. I feel like Jackson to Woods maybe sideways at best. Does anyone else think that, or do you think Woods an upgrade on Jackson now? I still think Jackson's a solid pick. I know his minutes haven't been great, but we were in the busiest month of the season, and that was the only reason I think that he was getting benched. Like, Chelsea just look better when he's starting. They don't look as good with Nkunku. So, like, he's still 100% first choice in my opinion. And the fixtures are still pretty good. Like, Palace away, Bournemouth home, Wolves home, City away, West Ham home. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that. And I think after this week, João Pedro is good as well. So, I'm not sure I'd do that. If I had Jackson, I'd be keeping him for a while, personally. Andrew Sweet, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks very much, Andrew, for your support. Boom, confetti gun. Slap it for retail. Thanks for the 10 bumps. He says 1 free transfer. 8 Nori to Castagna / Robinson or Bruno to Gordon or a -4 for both. I don't know if I'd sell Bruno if I had him. Just because of the fixtures after this game week. But it is a really nice fixture for Gordon this week. But I just think Bruno's still good. Like, he's got Southampton home, game week 21. And he's on pens, free kicks, some free kicks and corners. I'd rather just do 8 Nori out, personally. I think you can go Castagna. I honestly think for 0.7 mil, or whatever he is cheaper, he offers about the same as Robinson. So I think at this stage, there's no reason to go for Robinson. Tete's out for like another couple of months, isn't he? So you get a good run out of Castagna before you have to sell him. Mahali says, hey Oscar, do you think it's crazy to keep hold of Cunha? I think he's a much better player than Wood, and I don't like either options. I don't think it's absolutely crazy, but obviously the fixtures are just horrendous. So he misses game week 20, and then he's back, and it's Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool. Does he outscore Wood, who's got a comparatively better run for the next 5 or so? Liverpool home's not great, but look, he's got Southampton home there, Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham, Wolves this week. Oh my god, Tim with the 20 gifted memberships. My confetti gun's not working. There we go. Tim, thank you so much for the 20 gifting. Welcome to all the new members. Oh my god. Welcome Peter Zane, Mr. Apex, Florian, Dana, and all the rest who have just become members. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Tim. Alan says Tim is a legend. 24k will Tim oil up right now. Oh man. Quinn says Tim is top. Thank you so much, Tim. What was I talking about? Lost my train of thought now. Dave said King Focal bench 1 of Eze, Kirkez and Gabriel. I wouldn't bench Eze, so it's Kirkez or Gabriel. I'd probably start Gabriel. I mean, we saw that they're top of the clean sheet odds, right? On 1105's model. Where were Bournemouth on that? Bournemouth, to be fair, they're only 2% behind, so it's actually quite close. I'd probably start Gabriel over Kirkez myself. Dave. It is close, that. Probably a coin toss, but that's my gut feeling. Connor says, thought on Wood and Trent in for Pedro, Porro and Cunha. I didn't want to lose Cunha, but the fixture is tough after this ban. Yeah, I think that's a great pair of moves, Connor. I think that's a great pair of moves. I mean, Pedro Porro has to go. Like, he was done as an asset weeks ago. Cunha's been great, but as we said, the fixtures are horrendous. He's banned for Forest, and it's Newcastle, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa. Yeah, I would make those moves. Trent's a great pick. I'm glad he finally delivered as well, because a lot of you said you're deluded going with Trent. And you know, there's comments about like, oh, Focal's faith in Trent or something like that. But so I'm glad he finally delivered last game week. I mean, I'd like more of those though, because he is well expensive, but it's easier to afford him, isn't it, with the Saka injury. Rosa says bench 1 out of João Pedro, Rico, Lewis or Enzo. If I knew Rico started, then I wouldn't bench him, but I'd probably just bench Rico. Just because he's the one you don't even know if he's going to start and play the minutes game. Bench Rico. Garian says Jackson for Isaac, Enzo from Bumo for free. Yeah, I like that. Isaac's probably the only player. He is the only player actually that I'd sell Jackson for. Enzo to Mbumo. Yeah, I like that as well. I like that. They got Southampton. And then I think it's Liverpool City, both home games, which isn't so good. But I think he's fine, even with those fixtures. Start Robinson on Milenkovic from Sanel. Robinson. Oscar, is Tim your brother? He's not. He's not my actual brother. Not my blood brother, anyway. Not genetic brother, but he is a brother. Any leaks? No, nothing really. Besides the Spurs murmurs. Which is that. Apparently a tier 1. I don't actually know Midas, but the Spurs in the No Hub has like a tier system based on how reliable they are. Apparently Forster's out. Obviously Vicaria's out, so we're going to see Austin in goal for Spurs at 12:30 today. Apparently Radisson and Gray will play, so they'll be the centre-back pairing, but both have been ill, including today. This was yesterday. Maddison and Son are likely to be left out of the starting lineup, and Bissouma. That's all we've got at the moment. Noctambuli says Isak will cook. The problem is, he might be over 100% EO this week, so we might actually want him to blank. Unless he's your captain. Captain Poland, 89% Salah, 6% Isak, 2% Palmer, and 3% other. Jurgen Klopp says, benching dilemma, choose 2 out of Enzo, João Pedro and Hull. Spurs defence is looking like a leaky bucket, but they always got a chance of a goal. I would bench João Pedro against Arsenal, I would say. Hull I would start. It's Enzo versus João Pedro. I'd probably bench João Pedro. Just because the Arsenal defence is that good. That said, they do have Timber out this week, which isn't great. Probably going to be Partey in right back. So it'll be Partey right back, Saliba, Gabriel, and then left back, maybe Calafiori. Still a very solid back line, to be fair. And we could see Rice back in the 11 as well. Austin is his first senior start in 9 years at the club. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I didn't realise he'd been there 9 years, Martin. That's crazy. Didn't you just buy Gordon, Martin? And he's a Spurs fan, so that tells you everything you need to know. Buy Gordon if you can get to him. Buy Isak. And I think Hull's great as well. I mean, even in the difficult fixtures recently, Hull's been delivering. He's got more points than any defender over the last 4, with exactly 40 points. So he's averaged 10 points a game. Spurs this week, and then it's Wolves, Bournemouth, Southampton, and Fulham. So such a nice run as well. How much is Hull? He's not hit 5 mil yet, has he? James says bench 1 out of Sarr, Jackson, Robinson, and Konsa. Bench 1 out of those 4. I'd probably bench Konsa. Like him and Robinson, similar clean sheet odds, but Robinson's got the actual attacking threat as opposed to Konsa. Jackson, can't be benching Jackson, and I'd start Sarr against Chelsea playing at home. He's 4.8 mil, okay. Oh, it's crazy value. If anyone watched my video since the start of the season, you might remember I was talking about Hall, and I was saying I'd love to have him in my Gameweek 1 team, but I just couldn't find a way to squeeze him in. And that worked out alright, because he started the season slow, and Newcastle did in general, but they're looking so good right now. Martin says he's stacking hard against Spurs, illnesses and injuries at the club. So yeah, already as far as players that are out with injury or suspension, it's Vicario Davies, Van der Ven, Romero, Udogie and Bentancur. So that in the no account said Forster's also out. So they're missing their first and choice keeper. They're missing their first, second and third choice centre backs. First choice left back. Yeah. I don't know. We'll do scoreline predictions later, but you'd back Newcastle to put 2 or 3 past them, wouldn't you? Maybe more. And how will Spurs play as well? Does Postecoglou still stick to his system? Going to be an interesting game, that one. I'm looking forward to it as someone doubled up. Munoz or Gabriel, bench one, asks Maybor. I'd bench Munoz against Chelsea. Start Gabriel. Isak cap is tempting. It is tempting. I've switched my vice captain to him. I don't know if I've got the balls to go for him all out as captain, but it's one of those. Like, the models won't account for the situation Spurs are in. And this can be where you get an edge in FPL. Because a lot of people follow the models, like, or the bookies odds, you know, goal scorer odds. I mean, let's check the goal scorer odds. Even before the news of like further doubts, Isak's joint second, 46%. But this is it, like, he's joint second with Salah, who gets an extra point per goal, potential clean sheet point. Haaland's top. But the bookies probably won't account for this extra info unless they do have in the nose themselves. So yeah, it can be where you find an edge, where people are missing, you know, insight or leaks, I suppose. But yeah, that all said, still going Salah captain. Whoa, Razan with the 10 gifted memberships. Razan, thank you so much. What is going on in today's stream? Martin got one of those. Well done, Martin. FPL Sav got one. Packy got one. Greg got one. Rory got one. Amir got one. And President Licha. Oh, and a couple more. Welcome to all the new members. Thank you so much again, Razan. Appreciate your support, mate. Alan says Tim is a legend again. Tim's still getting the acclaims, even though that was Razan. Oh no, Rich says now Tim's going to come back again. I don't want to start a back and forth. No one has to support me that much, but thank you both so much for that. Tim says it's not me this time. Alright, we're passing the halfway mark of the stream, so let's have a look at the scout selection. What's the best team for Gameweek 20? And let us know in chat, how many players have you got from the scout selection? They've got Selves in goal, Gabriel, Robinson and Howson, Salah captain, Palmer, Luis Diaz, Martinelli, Isak, Watkins and Raul Jimenez. How many players you guys got? So I've got Gabriel, Salah, Palmer. I just got 4. Oh, Jan's got 4 as well. I feel a bit better now. Greg's got 5. Anish's got 7. 6, 4, 4, 4. Seems like most have got 4. I'm guessing. I bet you I know what your 4 are. Your 4 is Gabriel, Salah, Palmer, and Isak. You've got the same 4 as me, don't you? Because those are like the template picks, and the rest are a bit more fringe picks. I mean, Robinson's pretty template. I guess that's those of you that are saying 5. Your 5th is Robinson, I bet, in most cases. Am I wrong? Evan says, "Yup." Nocturne Booty's only got 3. I mean, Howson's surprising. No, Gordon's a mistake. If I was picking this, Gordon's got to be in. Has to be in over one of Martinelli or Luis Diaz. Surely. Thanks again, Razan, for the gifted memberships. Anurag says, "Hi Oscar, would you captain Salah over Haaland if you had both?" It probably depends, first of all, how your season's going and what type of manager you are, secondly. You know, say you're way down in the rankings in the millions and you're just looking for a maximum upside. And secondly, if you are that type of manager that has an appetite for risk, then I'd go Haaland captain. I mean, the projections have Haaland very marginally ahead. FPL Review's got Haaland on 8, Salah on 7.8. So if you're that kind of manager, you've got the risk appetite. I'd go for Haaland, but I mean, you could also say if you're high up in the rankings and you're looking to go higher, like say you're 50k and Haaland outscores Salah, and that could take you to 10k. You can do it there as well, but if I had both, I'd still go Salah, personally. I'm happy enough where I am. I'm 87k. I feel like my team's good enough to chip away at the rankings. I probably don't have to go too aggressive. What rank are you guys? Zed in the chat says he's 393rd in the world. 393rd. Fair play. Giveaway. Okay, yeah, we'll do the giveaway in a sec. So everyone, if you haven't got the FPL Focal app, then go install that. We're going to do a giveaway for premium membership for the entire remainder of the season. 5 of them up for grabs. All you have to do on the app or on the website, fpl.page, is you'll see in the top left corner, tap to hide ads. And then I'm going to put a code on the screen. Enter that, and it will say you've got like the rest of the season for free. So get ready. 15k, 68k, 28k, 240k, 2.5 mil, 55k, 7k, very nice Focal, 800k. That's some insane ranks today. 155k. All right, let's do the giveaway. Is Tim in the chat asking for a friend? He is here, Daniel. All right, get ready. I'm going to put the code on the screen now, and the code is Gameweek20. And I'll check over here that they get claimed. First 5 get membership. So enter that code, Gameweek20, and that'll give you the entire rest of the season premium for free on the FPL Focal app or fpl.page. Right, let's check if someone's got them. Coupons. End of season free. No one's got it yet. So that's some of my tea. One's gone. Three are gone. That's it. All 3 are gone. If you got it, let us know in chat. Well done to those that got it. Enjoy the rest of the season on the house. If anyone didn't get it, by the way, the first month is completely free anyway, if you want to check it out and see if you like it on the app or fpl.page. And the first month is completely free anyway, so you could even sign up and then cancel straight away and then decide later. Or if you like it, ideally you keep it running, because it's only £1.49 for all those benefits and all those features, and obviously it supports the running costs, because the running costs are insane. No joke. Insane running costs. It's like £400 a month right now, so that's why I had to add the little premium memberships. Where do you claim it? Top left, where it says tap to hide ads. But they're gone now. They just got claimed. So, oh, Man Feeling says got one. Well done, mate. Tim says yes, I am here. Right, keep your questions coming. Where did I get to? By Dan says, do you think it's worth taking a -4 to get Isaac in this week? I'm planning on doing Foden to Iwobi and then Vissa or João Pedro to Isaac. I think it probably is. I'd really be uncomfortable going to this game without Isaac. You're 67th in the world. Fair play. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't go into this game week without Isaac, even if it meant a hit to get there. Lovin says, got the subscription, thank you. No worries, Lovin. Enjoy the rest of the season on the house. Yeah, I'll bring this up again. Like, Vicario Davies, Van de Ven, Romero, Udogie, and Ben Tankert are all 100% out. Forster, according to the In The Know accounts, also out. So Austin comes in. Martin Musseni's been at Spurs for 9 years, and it's his first start, his debut for Spurs. So I would do it, and I probably wouldn't sell Vissa. He's got Southampton, so I'd do João Pedro. João Pedro to Isaac. That's what I would do. $15k rank, very nice. Alan says, thank you, whoever it was that gifted the 1 month membership. That was probably from either Tim or Razvan, one of those two. Should I start Vissa or Strand Larsen? Start Vissa. You can't bench anyone who's playing Southampton. No disrespect if you're a Southampton fan, but cannot be benching attackers against Southampton, can you? Start Kwanzaa over Hall or Munoz, just a flex that I own him. No, I wouldn't. I'd still start Hall. Kwanzaa. I had him at the start of the season. God, what a dreadful pick he was. I expected him to start in Game Week 1, and he did, but then he was hooked at half time, and then he just was never back. He will be back this game week because Gomez and Konate are out, but don't buy him. Konate's back soon. Triple captain Salah. I would save the triple captain Typhoon for whenever Liverpool's double game week is. He was a great pick for 45 minutes. Oh, those 45 minutes, I'll never forget that. He killed my team value as well early on. I had such a slow start to the season, it really was brutal. You can see there, look, I was 4 million after Game Week 1. 4.1 million, 2.6, 2.2. Like, even Game Week 10 I was still outside 1 million. You can't quite see that, can you? I'm on a nice run of greens recently, so hopefully that can last. They don't last forever, the green arrows. They never do. Unless you went on to win the whole thing in Game Week 38, but... Abdul Jalil, thanks for becoming a member as well. Thanks for your support, mate. Appreciate you. And Crispy Bacon as well. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Abdul Jalil. Thank you both for becoming members. At the same time as well. Kano says, I have no bench this game week. Cunha to João Pedro. Have you already got Wood, Kano? I'd rather Cunha to Wood. Yeah, I think that it sounds crazy because he's got Arsenal, but I think long term that still makes sense. Have you already got Wood though? Crispy Bacon says Saki. Let us know, Kano. If you haven't, then I would do that. Otherwise, yeah, João Pedro or Jimenez, one of those two. Oh, you haven't? I'd do Cunha to Wood. That's way more obvious, I think. Much better fixture this week as well. You have Jackson. Okay. Yeah, Cunha to Wood is what I would do. I mean, let's have a look at the most transferred players. Latest numbers. 900,000 transfers in for Wood. 565,000 for Isak. 445,000 for Hull. Ainers and Forth. Gordon and Bumo. Luis Diaz, Rao. Trent Watkins sells. So it's got to be Cunha most sold, right? 1.3 million of sold Cunha. Jackson, 530,000 sales. That's surprising. I'm not sure he's a sell unless you don't have Isak, but I guess people are going to Isak, aren't they? Rogers. Wait, was Rogers? Yeah, Rogers. 160,000 transfers in for Rogers, who's suspended. What's that about? Who else is up there? Bowen, Madison, Ahmad. Yeah, fair enough. Saka still being sold. Timbers suspended. João Pedro. Interesting. Pat says, oh, missed my first chat. Apologies. Sorry I missed that. He said, bench order, Enzo, João Pedro and Semenyo. I would go Semenyo and then Enzo and then João Pedro, Pat. Sorry I missed your message. Semenyo, Enzo and João Pedro in that order. God, you must have a strong start in 11 to be benching Semenyo. Rogers on wildcards. Yeah, good point actually. I suppose there's loads of wildcards activated, right? Because we've just got a second wildcard. Has anyone activated their wildcard this game week as soon as it's been available? Who's on a wildcard this week? FPL Mind says, who to bench out of Howson, Saliba and João Pedro? I've got Gabriel. I'd probably bench João Pedro and chase the upside of an Arsenal clean sheet. Because if João Pedro blanks and Arsenal give you a clean sheet, that lines up perfectly for your team. Yeah, I mean, I try to avoid attacker versus defender whenever I can, and you can avoid it this week. And Arsenal do have the best clean sheet odds. So, yeah, bench João Pedro. Samran says, hey Focal, thanks for the content from South Africa. Best 6.5 million midfielder. 6.5 mil. Probably Sarr from Palace. Is there anyone I'm forgetting? Like, Iwobi's good, but I think Sarr for the longer term fixtures, I would say. I think he's 5.8 or 5.9. Gibbs White. I prefer Sarr to Gibbs White. Eze. Is he under 6 mil? I think he's... Isn't he like 6'6"? How much is Eze? Yeah, he's 6'6". So I would say Sarr would be my pick there. Marcus, thanks for the 29 months. Diaz to Gordon, play Colwell and Munoz, or Timber to Trent. I would go Timber to Trent, Marcus. I'd keep Diaz. He should start, and it's a nice fixture. Gordon or Iwobi? Gordon, Sir Dennis. Luke says I've got morning wood. Excuse me. Dave says Cunha to Wood for a -4. It depends who you've got to start in his place. I wouldn't take -4s unless you've really got dead rubber picks in their place. If you've got really terrible picks starting, if you don't take the hit. Otherwise, yeah. Can someone with a membership type my next message? Because I don't think Oscar's reading my chat and I just wanted some advice. There's just loads of messages. I can't possibly get through them all, but I'm doing as many as I can. So yeah, sorry everyone. I know like it's probably annoying, like you watch the stream and then you don't see it answered. I don't like look at your message and go, I'm not going to answer that guy. It's just I pick them out completely at randomly. And obviously if someone's like doing a super chat, then I'll never skip that, but I just pick them out at random. Morning Daniel, how we doing? Do goalkeepers sub in? They do, yeah. Goalkeepers automatically auto sub. Yeah, Timber to Trent, Marcus. Thanks for 29 months. Hamza says Haaland to Isak and Greaves to Trent for -4. Is it worth it? Yeah, I'd probably do that. It seems pretty mad though, because Haaland does have a really good fixture, but I wouldn't want to go into this game without Isak. And if you can do Greaves to Trent, that's massive as well. Probably a move you should have done about 5 weeks ago, but better late than never. I mean, holding on to Haaland's been really unlucky for those that have done it. It deserved more than it's gotten. Obviously, like the missed penalty as well. The underperformance. Been unlucky that. I took a hit to sell Haaland. I don't know how long ago it was now, like 10 game weeks ago or something, to get Salah, and that was well worth it. Forster replacements. I mean, long term, I'd say, what, Henderson for about the same price? Probably the one. By the way, if anyone's got Kepa as their keeper, Game Week 21, they've got Chelsea, and he'll be ineligible to play. Keep that in mind if you've got him. Simon, thanks for the 1 month. He says 2.5 mil in the bank. Rodgers for 7.9 mil, or Cunha for a 9.3 mil. So if you haven't got Isak, Simon, then Cunha to Isak. Otherwise, Rodgers to Gordon, I like Rodgers to Gordon. I'll do one of those two. You know, if you've got all those players already, Cunha to Wood looks okay. I like that. VS says, should I replace Bernardo Silva with someone this week for a -4? I don't like Bernardo Silva as an FPL pick. He's a great footballer, but not a great FPL pick. Jacob says, I'm going to Tottenham, and I've got triple Newcastle because of how bad we are. Outrageous. I know that you're not alone, Jacob. There's quite a few Spurs fans that I think are buying Newcastle assets this week. I mean, do you guys put aside club bias when it comes to players against your own team? Or do you never captain someone against your own team? Like, there's a guy that I play pro clubs with, and he'll never captain someone against Villa because he's a Villa fan. Do you guys do that, or do you put that aside with your decision making? Man Feeling says, always as a Saints fan. I mean, James Justin plays FPL and he's having a difficult season because he always benches players against himself. So like he benched Salah against Leicester, for example. And he's normally very good at FPL. But anyway, yeah, I probably would VS if you haven't got... Depends who you haven't got though. I think Gordon's worth a hit. Like that could be very quickly repaid. Maybe this week, if not after like 2 weeks. I'm a Liverpool fan, so it's pretty straightforward. Just don't get fancy. Captain Salah. Starting Hall over João Pedro. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Risky Pell. Mark says, I do. Either way, I win. Scott says, I never play anyone against my own team. Right. Let me catch up with chat. Mr. F says, welcome back for a new year of FPL content. João Pedro or Hall to start? I think I'd probably start Hall, Mr. F. I mean, this is where like Spurs are so unpredictable. They're going to somehow win 1-0 now against Newcastle. But with all these players out, you've got to be playing Hall against Spurs, I feel. And I think Gordon and Isak are like two really good players to buy this week. Russell says, play Munoz or João Pedro. I have Palmer, Jackson and Raya. Well, you definitely play Palmer, Jackson and Raya. That's fine. Keep them. And I'd play Munoz. That's Munoz, right? Not Muniz. And that's João Pedro, not Pedro Porro. Play Munoz, Russell. Thanks for the super chat. Sean says, start Cucurella or Strand Larson. I've got 2 suspended on my bench. Timber and Rogers. Is it worth a -4 this week for cover? All my starting lineup should play. No, I wouldn't take a -4 for cover, personally. Taking a -4 just for your bench is crazy. If you're doing 2 moves and you're also upgrading your starting 11, then that's different. But I'd never ever take a hit for my bench. Unless like there was someone leaked not to start or who's out injured who was in my starting 11. Cucurella, Strand Larson. Tricky one. I'd probably play Strand Larson, play the striker. Is he on pens? Anyone know? With Cunha out, is he on pens for 1 week? I don't know who would take them. Would it be like Hwang? Or is there someone I'm forgetting? I feel like you play Strand Larson though, home to Forest. Even though that's not a great fixture, then Cucurella. Play the striker. Bertman says, start Dibbling or Saar. Saar, 100%. Definitely Saar. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to ever be starting Dibbling if you can help it. Capital says, hi Oscar, buy Hall or Burn, Endo replacements. Definitely Hall. Burn's a centre-back, first of all. Hall's a full-back, so he's got more routes to points. Like, if you watch Newcastle play, he gets really advanced down the left. And he pops up and looking like a left winger at times, of how far advanced he gets. Like, if you look at that controversial, or maybe not controversial, Isak assist, he was right on the edge of the box when he put that cross in. Terrible cross, but it did fall to Isak, who buried it. Whereas Burn, yeah, you're unlikely to get anything from him. Nick says, who to bench? João Pedro, Bruno, Munoz and Enzo. I have double Arsenal and double Liverpool defence. I could -4 Bruno to Gordon. I wouldn't -4 Bruno out, I don't think, just because the fixtures are great after this week. Bench João Pedro, Bruno, Munoz and Enzo. I'd probably bench Munoz and João Pedro out of those 4. If it's just one, then João Pedro, Nick. Nothing wrong with double Arsenal and Liverpool defence anyway, I like that. My plan is to stick with double Arsenal defence for a while. Best defence for expected goals conceded this season. And last game week, I know they didn't keep the clean sheet, but they had the best XGC of all teams in Game Week 19, so all good there. Check the leaks, Focal. I'll have a look if there is anything. I'm not... Yeah, let's have a look. I mean, the early kickoff is Spurs Newcastle, so maybe something from that. Like who's out for Spurs or something. Nothing at the moment. No, nothing. I'll keep an eye out though. Anything we get, I'll put it in the bottom left corner. Spurs in the No Hub said, according to a tier 1 source, that Forster's out and Maddison and Son are doubts to start. They might be on the bench. Your voice is iconic, sir. Have a good day. Thanks very much, Flappy Penguins. Where did I get to? Arjan says, Flecken or Allison? And should I bring in a defender or bench for Pinnock if the Liverpool game is postponed? Current backline is Kirkes, Trent and Colwell. No, I wouldn't waste a transfer on a defender, personally. It's a waste of a transfer for something that might not even happen. Flecken or Allison? I think probably Allison, but let me check the clean sheet odds. Must be pretty close because Flecken's got Southampton. Brentford 29%, Liverpool 37%. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I would start Allison. And yeah, I wouldn't waste a transfer for your bench. If you're on, 3, 4, 5 transfers, then I think it's okay. Otherwise, I would just aim to roll. G says, love from Sydney. Which website do you use to track price changes? And he asks, where's everyone watching from? Let us know, chat. Where are you tuned in from today? If you want to tag me in a photo on Twitter or a Blue Sky of your stream setup, I'll retweet it. Price changes. I use live FPLs. It looks like it's the most reliable one now. There's a website called whatthef.pl that tracks the accuracy of price changes. I don't know if it's going to fit here. Probably not. But it'll tell you here, like, the progress. Is that going to fit? No. Anyway, they show you who's expected to rise and fall. So you can just go up and down. There you go. So tonight, Isak, Salah, and Kepa are expected to rise. I'm surprised about Kepa. As I said earlier, he's not suspended. He's ineligible to play against Chelsea in Gameweek 21. Parent club, of course. And Wood. There's loads of players here projected to reach the target. So Wood, Hall, and Mbumo, Gordon, Jesus, Raul Jimenez, Aina. God, there could be loads of rises tonight. Diaz, Robinson, Watkins, Trent, Martinelli, Semenyo. Anyway, livefpl.net/prices. Kennedy, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member. Thanks for your support, Kennedy. Confetti cannon's not working. I might have used it too much on Tim. Oh no. Hello? Nothing's working. I'll have to do it I'll do it the manual way. I'll set it off manually. Oh no, even that's not working. What's happened? Oh, here we go. Whee! Thanks, Kennedy. Appreciate your support, mate. Right, let me catch up on chat. I think I'm a bit behind. AK, thanks for the super chat. There's no message with that one. Ben Foster's in the chat. Is he? Where is he? Big shout out to Ben Foster. That'd be a different Ben Foster, surely. He says, Harry Wilson, you heard it here first from maybe the official Ben Foster, maybe not. Probably not. Ben Foster, let us know. Are you the real Ben Foster, or are you someone with the same name as the keeper? When does second chance begin on FPL? I actually don't know. Good question. Is it not this game week? Halfway mark. I've not seen them advertise it though, so maybe not yet. The confetti was class. I've got a button here, but it's not working now. On my stream deck. Yeah, I'll have to just do it manually. Right, I'm getting sidetracked, totally. George says, bench 2 between Munoz, Hall, Aina and Robinson. I would... I'd bench Munoz. Hall versus Aina. I feel like Hall's got the upside. And Spurs have got that many players out, right? Like, if you haven't got Gordon or Isak, then I'd probably prioritise it as your transfers this week. And I'd start Hall. And I'd start Robinson. And Aina ahead of Munoz on the bench, I would say. Khalid says, Trent or Alisson on a wild card. I don't want double Liverpool defence. I would prioritise Trent, Khalid. On a wild card. Over Alisson. Nothing wrong with double defence at all. But yeah, if I was going for one, definitely Trent. Pat says, Oscar, tempted -4 to bring in Gordon for Semenyo, who looks tasty versus a terrible Spurs defence. Would you still bench João Pedro if you only had one Arsenal defender? Yeah, I'd still bench João Pedro. I still would. So it's not really irrelevant how many Arsenal defenders you've got. Like, you either back him to not score, or you back him to score. And Arsenal top of the clean sheet odds, so I'd bench João Pedro this week, if you're able to. Semenyo to Gordon -4. I don't mind it, but it's not a bad fixture for Bournemouth, home to Everton. I don't mind it though. It's one of those, like, that -4 should be repaid over the next 2 or 3 game weeks, if not straight away. But yeah, you're going to have to accept if you're doing that could backfire. Given that, yes, Bournemouth are home to Everton. Don't mind it though. It does feel like a big upside move, Gordon and Isak. Akshat says Pedro and Kulu to Wood and Gordon, or Larson and Kulu to Wood and Martinelli, or Larson and Keane to Wood and Hall. Really confused. I'd go with the first one, Wood and Gordon, Akshat. I'd go with that. Watkins captain differential from Cole? Probably not. I still think Salah's better. I think he's a good option. I think he's a nice transfer in. Obviously, if you're transferring him, there is the potential you're going to have to get him back out if Duran comes back in. But I think he's just a solid pick. Like, he's really low owned. I think that's enough. But it is a really nice fixture. Like, he could bag a brace and it wouldn't surprise me. Could bag a hat trick, wouldn't surprise me. Connor Jones says future transfers for Digne have been held since Game Week 4. And I don't know why, he says. Would you prefer Howson from Bournemouth or Castagna from Fulham? I prefer Castagna. I mean, Bournemouth's fixtures are about to turn. There's no reason to go there. Everton home is okay, but then it's 4 pretty brutal games, and then it's okay again from 25. Would you ever buy someone who you're going to play for one of the next 5? That doesn't make sense to me. Castagna, you could start a lot more than one game in the next 5. So Castagna, Connor, would be the one. AK says, what's the thinking behind Munoz over Colwill? I think their clean sheet chances are probably fairly similar. But Colwill's ceiling is 6. Munoz is higher than that. He came so close to scoring last game week. There was a cross that came in, and it was Munoz, the one who was in the box. It was an open goal. The keeper was like had gone to try and close down who was crossing it. And the cross still came in. Open goal. Munoz booted it against the heel of a defender who knew nothing about it. His underlying numbers are really good. I just think he's more upside. Oscar, you're such a cutie. Thanks very much. So yeah, I've gone for Munoz. Home fixture as well. I mean, Chelsea have lost 2 on the bounce. Make your own narrative though, right? You make your own narrative with these 50-50 calls, but that's where I've landed. Thanks very much, Zacco. That air says, hey Oscar, start one out of João Pedro, Colwill and Munoz. I'd say Munoz. Crispy Bacon says, tempted to give Gordon the captain, please talk me out of it. Well, last week I tried to talk you out of Gibbs White and you did it anyway and he scored, so what do I know really? But I wouldn't captain Gordon myself. Surely if you're going to captain someone in that fixture, you go Isak, Chris. Yeah, I mean, this is where like Gordon puts up a 15-pointer or something, but it's got to be Salah. Or if you really want to back that fixture, Isak. What's Teddy's FPL team looking like? Oh, he gave up in like Game Week 2. He gave up. Start Sarr or Hall from Dan. I'd start Sarr, Dan. Bit of a coin toss that one, but I'd start Sarr. Right, predictions in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 21? It was Salah again last Game Week. He got 16 points. Chuck your guesses in the chat. Who is it going to be this Game Week? Well done to everyone that bravely guessed Salah last Game Week correctly. But who's it going to be this week? Who am I going to go with? I'm going to try and think of an outside the box pick. Let's have a look at the fixtures. I think I just broke my chat as well. Let me fix that first of all. And then I can see your messages again. Refresh that. Pop out chat. Boom. Right, fixtures. I'm going to go Visser. If anyone's not in the Focal Discord, by the way, link below to join that. There's a King of the Game Week channel on that where you predict who's going to be the top scoring player and you get a little reward for that. And I went Visser on that as well. Obviously Southampton, so that's where I'm going. I'll go with Visser. Who did you go with? Jota, 17 points. Does he even start? Murphy from Ethan. That's a good left field shout. Patrick says Isak. Joelinton, Hull. Man Feelings reckons Isak gets an 18 pointer. Grazef says Strand Larson gets 20 plus points. I'm going to cry if he gets 20 plus points on my bench. How many returns is that? That's like... Is that a hat-trick and 2 assists or something? No, hat-trick and 1 assist. If he does that, then fair play. Delap. And Boomo's a good shout, yeah. Connor says, yes, Focal lad. How we doing, Connor? Risky Pearl's gone and Boomo. Haaland 4 goals. Salah gets sent off from Ridge. Alright, any moderators, can you ban Ridge, please, for that? Salah gets sent off. Imagine that. Salah gets sent off. Has he ever got sent off? In fact, I can check that right here, can't I? It must have done before. No, he's never been sent off. He's missed 6 penalties. One of those was when he was at Chelsea, though. No, one of those was his first Liverpool season. Never been sent off. No, don't ban Ridge if any actual mods are here. I don't even know if there's moderators on these. Is there? Everyone tends to behave themselves, which is good. Salah is 100% getting the yellow for taking the shirt off. As long as it's not a second yellow, Aaron. If it's a second yellow for taking the shirt off. I remember Enzo was going to take his off, wasn't he, when he scored, and then Jackson was like, keep that on, and he like pulled his shirt to keep it back on. Sean says, Diaz or Erdegaard? Diaz is the higher upside, but riskier minutes pick, whereas Erdegaard is like nailed to start. I prefer Gordon to both of those. But if I was going to pick one... I'd probably go Erdegaard. I'd go boring, but it depends what kind of manager you are. Diaz is the higher upside pick, but he's not going to start every game. Like people that are going Gakpo, Diaz, just look at their minutes over the season. You basically have to accept, then at some point they're not starting for you. That will happen. But when they do, the upside's there. Right. Keep your... is there a problem with chat today? No, I think it's okay now. It froze earlier. Because there's so many messages, sometimes it freezes for me, but it seems to be all good now. I can see it on the stream. Hopefully you can as well. So if anyone's joining late, we've got less than half an hour to go. I went Bowen to Gordon this week. In fact, let me tweet my team before I forget. Screenshot that. Try to share my team before every deadline, and so far have done all season and last season. So let's do that. Gameweek 20, Bowen to Gordon. Bowen to Gordon. Done. There we go. And that is posted. Right, let's get back to it. Heike New says, good afternoon, Oscar. Sell Erdegaard to get Gordon. I don't hate that. I'll be honest, I a little bit regret Erdegaard after how he's looked the first 2 games. He's come kind of close to returns a couple of times, but he's not looking like he could hold in any given fixture. Whereas Gordon, I think, can. So yeah, I'd be tempted to do that. I think that's probably worth it. Like if you look at Tottenham's Newcastle's next 5, there's got to be lots of points in there. So I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I kind of regret Erdegaard a bit, but in my team he's just gonna have to stay because next week I'll probably do Strand Larsen to João Pedro. I've got other problems to sort. Well, I can't keep Strand Larsen with those upcoming games, so he's my priority. So it's too luxury for me to sell. I'd love to go Erdegaard to Bruno next week, for example. I could do that, but it might be better to sort out other issues first. Kay says start 1, Jota, Sarr and Digne. Also sells off Flecken. Probably start Sarr. Does Jota start against Man United? This is the problem you take on though when you own him. Let's see if there's any predicted lineups in Liverpool. Predicted lineups, I've got Diaz, Gakpo, Diaz, Salah front 3. So, and there's another one, Gakpo, Diaz, Salah front 3. I mean, I've just seen 2 predicted lineups without him in. Could be Gakpo Diaz. I mean, they're not that confident. 60%, 65. The other one also had Gakpo Diaz, Salah. So I'd probably just go with what the fan predictions are saying, because they know better than anyone. Jump the Wave is a Twitter account and Blue Sky account worth following. She like collates fan predictions in terms of the lineups. So what were the other picks? Yeah, Saraldini. So start Sar. Sells or Flecken. Nottingham Forest, 30% chance of a clean sheet. Brentford 29. So nothing in it, but Forest are undeniably a much better defence. So sells. Tuna says start Sar or João Pedro. I'd start Sar, Tuna, 100%. I mean, João Pedro's got Arsenal. Start Sar. Ao Ota says, would you sell Foden for Gordon or hold? Yeah, I'd probably sell Foden. He's just not looking like he's worth the money. And Gordon's so much cheaper. Any more leaks, Oski? I'll have a check in a sec. Just got to catch up on Super Chats. Yeah, I think Foden to Gordon I would do, even though it's a nice fixture for Foden. I think it's an even better fixture for Gordon and Newcastle. Dave Brown says, start one, mate. Colwell, João Pedro and Strand Larsen. Wouldn't start João Pedro, Dave, so it's Colwell or Strand Larsen. I mean, Cunha is out for this one, so Strand Larsen probably plays 90. So I'd play the striker. Chase the upside. Right, let's have a look if there's any leaks. Such a great early kickoff today as well. Spurs v Newcastle. Can't wait. Good day of football ahead. No leaks. Nothing at the moment. I'll check again nearer the deadline, but at the moment, no, nothing. Appreciate you all being here, by the way. If you have enjoyed this stream up until this point, hit like. Make sure you subscribe. I make 3 or 4 FPL videos every game week, and I stream every deadline, so lots to look forward to if you're new around here, and I hope you'll smash it in 2025. Is Timothy going to do a madness this stream as well? He's done more than enough. He did it earlier. He doesn't need to do any more. He did it earlier. Start Hall or Sar? Probably Sar. Finn. Coin toss that one, but probably Sar. Let's just check if the projections have changed at all, given the updated information and leaks on Spurs and their potential injuries. It's not changed much. I'll just take a screenshot and show you the new one. Here's how it looks now. I mean, this might not be updated to reflect the Spurs injuries, in fairness, but these are the updated projections. So Haaland 8.1, Salah 7.9, Watkins 7.3, Isak 6.8, Palmer 6.2, and Mbumo 5.6, and Foden. Right. Where did I get to? Hall or Enzo? Probably Hall, Chandra. If anyone's joining late and wondering why we're talking about Spurs and Newcastle a lot. So out for this game week is Vicario Davies, Van der Ven, Romero, Udogie and Bentancur. And then the following players are doubts: Forster, Maddison, Dragusin and Gray. And apparently 7 first-team players trained for at Spurs yesterday. 7 first-team players. And then there was a bit more information late last night that said Forster is definitely out. So Austin's going to make his debut for Spurs. 3rd choice goalkeeper. Radisson and Gray will apparently play, but both have been really ill, including yesterday. Maddison and Son are likely to be left out of the starting lineup, and Bissouma. So those aren't guaranteed, Maddison and Son, but likely to be left out. If I had them, I'd probably just sell them based on that. Maddison or Son. So it's a nice week to have Isak and Gordon and Murphy and Hall. I mean, those are the main ones. Someone said Joelinton earlier. I don't know if I'd be buying Joelinton, my FPL team. Bench Ahmad or Munoz? Probably Ahmad against Liverpool. Away at Liverpool as well, Mikel. Semenyo to Gordon. Yeah, I don't hate that. It's one of those could backfire this week, but I like it. Kenny says, "Whoa, thanks for the gifted membership." All good, Kenny. I think it's probably Tim or Razvan that gifted that. Is a high team value more essential now due to the assistant managership? That's a good point, Doi. Like, you don't have to have a great team value to do well, and that's still true, but it is a good point about the assistant managership. But there are always these super cheap players that make it possible to free up how much money. You know, you could just use the chip on one of the cheaper managers that are 0.5 mil, so you actually don't need to free up much. Like, I've got 0.4 mil in the bank right now, so I'm only 0.1 off already been able to use it. But yeah, if you want to go for like a Slot or a Teta or Pep, you're going to need 1.5 mil extra in the bank. That's quite a lot. So yeah, good point. Maybe that means we should start making transfers slightly earlier and just weigh up the risk. I tend to do a bit of both. Sometimes I'll go a bit early. Like, I went Bowen to Gordon early before Gordon rose a couple of days ago. Because first of all, Bowen had City. Secondly, Gordon was rising. And thirdly, Bowen was potentially out anyway because he had the injury. So I just weighed it up and I thought I can go early here, even though the Arsenal haven't played yet. The risk I was taking there is an Arsenal player getting injured. But, you know, if like Gabriel got injured, then I could play Colwell. It's not the end of the world, so weighing up that risk, isn't it? I mean, do you guys... oh, my voice just croaked then. Did you hear that? Do you guys go early with your transfers? Or do you always wait until the deadline to till you got the maximum information available? Yeah, I do a bit of both. Sometimes I go early, sometimes I don't. Oh, Senior Lump, buy something nice, Mr. Focal. Thanks very much, Senior Lump. Appreciate that. Thanks for your support. Connor says, start João Pedro or a -4. Start João Pedro or a -4 to buy and start any defender. Any defender. If you can get to Trent for a -4, like, that's pretty nice. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Ganswood says, I go early to avoid price rises. Jay says both. Bit of both. Been waiting this year, but it has cost me team value, says Moo Pointer. Yeah, I mean, there's both sides of it. Obviously, sometimes waiting is invaluable if there's last minute leaks, because sometimes a leak can be like massive, but we don't seem to be getting as much this season. I'll keep checking if there's anything before the deadline. Oh, interesting. The little man says Botman is back in the 11 for Newcastle. Is he reliable? I believe so. Because his share is suspended, is that why? Botman's finally back. He's been playing for the under-21, so... No illness. Son and Maddison both dropped. I don't know if this is reliable. So I'm hesitant to, like, put it in the bottom left widget. But it was that same account, Spurs ITK Hub, Spurs in the Know Hub, said no illness, but Son and Maddison both dropped. What is going on? They've got all these players out, and Postecoglou's still dropping Son and Maddison. Has there been a falling out behind the scenes? Crazy. Right, let me flick back over. Botman is a beast. Yeah, that's huge for their return. That's great news if you've already got, like, Hall, for example, because he's a great defender, Botman. It's good to see him back. Botman returns. Connor, so I did Connor's one, didn't I? Lewis says, thoughts on Isak captain and Sarr or Delap to start? I'd start Sarr. Isak captain, I don't hate it. I just think Salah's even better. Like, would you guys say Salah's the best player in the world right now? Maddison at the darts, so maybe disciplinary. Oh, was he? Yeah, maybe he's a little bit hungover. I'd say in current form, he's got to be the best player in the world right now. So why would you ever go against the best player in the world in current form? Against Man United home as well. And a Man United team that are in dire form. They've lost like 5 of their last 6 or something, haven't they? Not for me. I don't hate it, but not for me. The Busted Flush says, Sarr to Gordon to chase the upside this week. Cheers. Probably not. busted. Because long term, Sar's a nice pick. Unless you've got loads of transfers and someone else can go back to Sar next week or Eze. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't do that. If you see what I mean. Like, say you've got Semenyo as well, and you go Sar to Gordon, then Semenyo back to Sar. It's messy, but I'd consider it if I had loads of transfers to chase the upside. Otherwise, I think Sar's a nice long-term pick. I know what you mean. This week it's great, but then, like, Sar does have Leicester and West Ham and Brentford after that. Bradley says bench Hall, Munoz or Mikolenko. I bench Miko. Start Jota or João Pedro. I'm not sure if Jota starts. That's the thing. I'm not sure if Jota starts. But João Pedro's got Arsenal, so I would start Jota and just hope for the best. But he's not in the predicted lineups, Bradley. I only looked at 2 predicted lineups, but it wasn't in either of them. Jota, but they're only predictions, so I feel like you just have to take the chance on Jota, and he can get you something off the bench. Dave Hornet says start Hall, Castagna, and 3 of Solanke, Semenyo, Sar, and Eze. I'd start Castagna, home to Ipswich, personally. Semenyo, Sar, Eze. I mean, if Maddison and Son have been dropped, plus they've got like 6 players out. Does Solanke really get anything against this Newcastle team that have kept, like, isn't it like 4 clean sheets on the bounce? 4 clean sheets. I'd start Semenyo, Sar and Eze, honestly. Dave. Semenyo, Sar, Eze. Razvans says, should I start Semenyo or Erdegaard? Good question. You got Trent already, Connor. I wouldn't do it then. I probably wouldn't do it, Connor. I don't know if there's anyone else I'd go for a -4. Probably not, no. Semenyo or Erdegaard? Probably Erdegaard. Just based on how good Everton's defence has been recently. It could be a low-scoring game, that one. I'd say Erdegaard. Despite, you know, the recent blanks, I'd still say Erdegaard start. Bassett says Cunha to Wood or Gakpo. Best Cunha replacements. Best Cunha replacements. Well, obviously Isak's number 1, but I think you might have him already. Most people do. After that, I would say close second would be Watkins, probably home to Leicester, and then Wood. Wood over Gakpo for me. Gakpo's great when he starts, but he's unpredictable for starts. And personally, this season, I'm avoiding all players that aren't nailed, even if they look really exciting. Like Diaz and Gakpo are like exciting picks, but I just can't be asked with the stress of waiting for the lineups to drop and then praying they start, and then sometimes they won't. They're not going to start every game, so I'm just refusing to pick. I've done it once this season, actually. I will admit that, and that was Diaz, and then he got benched twice in a row, so I'm not doing it this season. I hate that. You probably know what I'm talking about. The anticipation, like the nerves when you're waiting for the lineup to drop and you're hoping your player starts. I just can't be dealing with that. I can't be bothered with it anymore. I'm picking nailed players as much as I can anyway. I mean, look at my starting 11. On paper, they're nailed. And bench, besides Greaves. Obviously, Greaves was like a record signing or something, and I thought he'd play every game, but he's in and out. Colwell's playing every game. Strand Larson actually got benched last match, but I'm looking to sell him. Anyway, that was a long answer. We've got 10 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming. Jonathan says, start any 2 of João Pedro, Munoz, Mikolenko and Ahmed. I'd start Munoz. Would I start Mikolenko? Where, Bournemouth? João Pedro. Probably start Munoz and João Pedro. I know Pedro's got Arsenal, but the others haven't got great fixtures, and Pedro's got pens. So Munoz and João Pedro. Ilalo says, rumours, Liverpool versus United might get postponed due to loads of snow. The Met Office is issuing a weather alert. Actually, yeah, I took a screenshot from the Met Office because I knew this would come up. And that's the latest, an amber warning. Yeah, it's just rumours. Apparently they might have a meeting to discuss it. Couldn't tell you any more than that. There is snow forecast. It's not a huge amount of snow. I'm not too worried about it personally, but we'll see. We won't know before the deadline though. We won't know before the deadline, so there's nothing we can do about it. Just got to hope the game goes ahead. Or if you've got a stacked bench, maybe you hope it doesn't go ahead. But yeah. Is what it is. They have heated pitches, no drama, says Jay. Yeah, the pitch itself is all good. It's more fans getting to the game. Like public transport could be a problem. Like when there was that heavy wind, was it? There was like trains cancelled and stuff in Merseyside. So I was just checking something. Yeah, so it's about fan safety and getting to the game. Like, is it gritted? Is the public transport on and so on? So anyway, we'll find out, I guess, tomorrow morning. 100%. FPL1 says Jimenez or Wood in for Cunha. I'd go Wood, FPL1. Will be 250% EO. Do you reckon? Wood's actually the most transferred in player this week. Let's update the numbers. 937,000 transfers in. Cunha's the most sold as well. So I think a lot of people are doing that Cunha to Wood move. It does make sense. Like they've got Wolves this week. Liverpool next isn't great, but they've got Southampton home in Gameweek 22. Busted Flash says Cunha to Watkins. I'm concerned about Ollie Watkins' minutes. I would do it if you've got at least a couple of transfers. It's a little bit risky otherwise, but it is an amazing fixture this week. Massive upside. If you can afford it. Also, let's not forget, like Duran got a red card. So Emery's not going to be happy about that. And he might say to him, you're back on the bench now until you can prove to me that you deserve to be starting again. And if Watkins gets something against Leicester, which is very likely, then there's every chance Emery has him as the number one again. So I don't think it's crazy to bring him in. I have come around to the Watkins pick. But if you've only got one transfer, then you're cutting it a bit fine because it could be a problem. But I don't hate it. It's a massive differential. I like it. Anyone else going Watkins this week? George says, late to the party, what moves have we done this week, Focal? I sold Bowen and I brought in Gordon. And that's me locked in this week. Salah captain, Isaac Weiss. Let me check that's saved. That is saved. Let me refresh to be extra sure. Good. Mbov says start Munoz or Enzo. Probably Enzo, just about. Enzo, I would say. I personally thought that Duran red was a joke. Yeah, maybe Emery's got that opinion as well, so maybe he won't punish him. Up for debate, isn't it? But they've extended the ban, haven't they, for an extra match? Is that right? Is it 4 games now? So there's another 3 to go. Start Kwanzaa or Colwill? Probably Kwanzaa. I mean, home to Man United. Probably Kwanzaa. And it's just gone Watkins. Right, about 5 minutes till the deadline. Thanks whoever's spamming the heart thing in the bottom right corner. I can see it going non-stop, so someone's going for it down there, sending a lot of love. Did I miss your super chat, Salah? Where was it? Oh, bench 1. Semenyo, Sarr, Jackson and João Pedro. Bench 1, João Pedro, Salah. I mean, João Pedro's got Arsenal. Jackson's still okay, I think. I wouldn't be in a rush to sell him if I had him. Sarr's home to Chelsea. Semenyo's home to Everton. It's got to be João Pedro, Salah. Thanks for the super chat. Bench Colwill or Aina? I'd bench Colwill, Jay. Start Aina. He's playing a wing back. Better defence this season. Start Solanke or Johnson? Probably Solanke. I suppose he'll be on pens, won't he? If Son is actually benched. I wonder what's happened there then. If it's true, Son and Maddison on the bench and they're not ill, just been dropped. Like, what's happened there? Some kind of falling out behind the scenes? Someone was saying Maddison went to the darts. Maybe he's being punished. Who knows? Enzo or Sarr? Probably Sarr. League Cup semis. Maybe. What, has he given up on the league now completely? Start Munoz or João Pedro? Probably Munoz, Ben. Munoz. Sell Strand Larsen to Wood on a free. Yeah, I like that, Ezekiel. I like that. Bad fixtures ahead for Wolves. And Wood's having a better season, better fixtures. Hall or Robinson? Probably Robinson, given he's home to Ipswich. Start Hall or Lewis? I'd start Hall, Adam. Because we don't know 100% Lewis starts. Check the leagues. Oh yeah, let's have a look. Livramento apparently starts, and Botman apparently does. That's all I've got here. Yeah, there were Spurs in the No Hub retweeted someone saying Maddison and Son had both been dropped, no illness, and then Forster's apparently out as well for Spurs. So Austin comes in from his Premier League debut. Salam says Isak captain saw the script. Yo, can you send over the script? I just want to see how this game goes. Right, do a final captain poll for the last few minutes. Let's get that up now. Who is your captain? So we'll go Salah, Isak. Who's the third best though? Haaland / Palmer and other. So if you go other, message in chat. Poll is up. You've got a couple of minutes or so to get your votes in. Been a really good stream today. I've really enjoyed it. Hope you all have as well. If you aren't subscribed, then hit the button. Apparently 40% of you aren't. 40% of you aren't subscribed, according to the analytics. Botman starts. Will Hall be affected by that and Burn plays left back? Nah, he won't drop Hall. I'll be absolutely shocked if that happens, given how well Hall's playing. Shez suspended, right? So it would be Burn and Botman centre back. Flanny says I enjoyed it. Have you ever not enjoyed a stream? I suppose not, but they don't all go like amazingly. Stuff can go wrong, or they can be stressful, like if there's last minute leaks or I've got to decide something difficult with my team. But yeah, I do enjoy them. Yeah, they're always a minimum 7 out of 10, but today's been 10 out of 10. Right, anyway, let me finish up on Super Chats. Bertman says, is there a case for holding Cunha long term if you have short term cover? Yeah, you can make a case for it. I don't hate it, but I just think Isak you have to have. Wood probably is better for the next 5. Like, surely Wood outscores Cunha over the next 5. Like, he's got Wolves this week, he's got Southampton in Gameweek 22, Bournemouth, Brighton. Whereas Wolves have got nothing this week for Cunha. Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Arsenal home, Villa home, and then Liverpool away. And lastly, Tiro says start Jackson or Iwobi. Probably Iwobi, Tiro. Ipswich home. I mean, if you're not going to start him home to Ipswich, when are you? Lastly, Novus says Kirkes or João Pedro. Kirkes, Novus. You got 30 seconds. Do it quick. Ahmad or Enzo from Rob. Enzo. Colwell or Munoz. I'm starting Munoz. Bruno Fernandes or João Pedro? Bruno, Nugs. You got about 10 seconds. Bruno. Oh, the last minute super chats are stressful. Why vice captain on Isak? Just because all the players at Spurs have got out. Is that the deadline? Are we there? Right, I'll take slow mode off and then everyone can do their predictions. Or if you have general questions. Maybe don't actually, because I won't see them while we're playing this. Slow mode is off. Right, can you see that? Let's do the predictions. Spurs v Newcastle. Slow mode is off. Get your predictions in the chat for that game. Spurs v Newcastle. First game of today. 5-0 to Newcastle. 2-0, 3-1. Slow mode should be off, so chuck your predictions in. A lot of people saying 5-0, 4-0, 3-0. Not many people backing Spurs to score. 3-1. You reckon they get one? Alright, we'll see. Aston Villa versus Leicester. Aston Villa versus Leicester. Home fixture for Villa as well. What are we saying? Two 0. I reckon it'd be more than that. 3-0. Alright, we'll go 3-0. 3-0? Yeah. Bournemouth versus Everton. Bournemouth v Everton. What are we saying? Three 0 to Bournemouth. 2-0. 0-0. 1-0. 2-0. Still backing Bournemouth to win. 2-0. Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. Difficult one to predict, this one. Really difficult one. What do you reckon? Palace v Chelsea. Slow mode's off, so you can go as fast as you want with your guesses. Let me end the captain poll as well. Get that out of your way. There you go. 3-1. 3-1 to Palace. 2-all. 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 A lot of people saying 2-all. Let's go with that then. Man City versus West Ham. Anyone still got Haaland? Will they be rewarded for holding on to him for this long? Man City versus West Ham. 3-1 to City. 3-1, 3-0, 3-1. Alright. Southampton, I mean, they haven't got Bowen as well. That's going to be such a hard game for them. Southampton versus Brentford. I know a few of you have gotten Boomo still or just bought him. Visser. Yeah, no Bowen. Exactly. Southampton v Brentford. What are we saying? 2-1 to Brentford. You reckon Southampton score? 2-1. Surely Brentford getting away win. Alright. Let's get the outro song on. Intro and outro song, I suppose. Brighton versus Arsenal. Brighton v Arsenal. What are we saying? Just did a 5k. What have you done today? Well, I've been sat here for 2 or so hours, Lucas, so nothing. 3-1 to Arsenal. 2-1 to Arsenal. A lot of people saying 2-1. Not liking the lack of clean sheet predictions as someone doubled up. Fulham versus Ipswich. Fulham v Ipswich. What are we saying here? Fulham versus Ipswich. To be played on Sunday afternoon. Craven Cottage. 3-0? 2-1? Oh, it's very mixed here. 3-1 or 2-1? Alright, 2-1. Liverpool versus Man United. Liverpool v Man United. Guesses in the chat. What are we saying? Does Salah do it again? 5-1 to Liverpool. 4-1. 4-0. Jeez. 4-0. Okay. Seems to be roughly the most popular. A lot of people are saying 5-0. A lot of 4-0s. Last one. Wolves v Nottingham Forest. That's on Monday night. Last game of the game week. There's actually a bit of a gap between this game week finishing and game week 21. So it's 10 days today, I believe. The perfect tune to get everyone excited for the weekend. It really is. Absolute belter of an outro song. Yeah, it's 10 days till the next game week, so a bit more of a wait. But anyway, get your predictions in for the final one. 2-0 to Forest. 2-0. That's it. That is the deadline. Thank you all for being here. Hope you smash it this game week. Hope you all get green arrows, your captain hauls. Appreciate you tuning in as always. And if you did enjoy the stream, do hit like and make sure you subscribe in. I'll see you around, speak to you soon. And that is it from me. Focal out.